Were you aware that the Barbie movie got banned in Vietnam? The reason behind this ban was a map. This map displayed the entire world along with a line that upset Vietnam, known as the 9-dash line. However, just as Vietnam was trying to address this issue, China surprised everyone with another map. This new map didn't only anger Vietnam, but also countries like India, Malaysia, the Philippines, Taiwan, and many others. The new map was different from the old one, as it featured a 10-dash line. In today's video, we will explore the latest developments concerning this map, China's intentions, and the geopolitical consequences it carries. But before we dive into that, please consider subscribing to our channel for future updates. To better understand this new map, let's take a step back in time. China's primary issue in the South China Sea revolves around its belief that it owns the entire sea, including all the islands and territories within it. However, this claim has led to disputes with neighboring countries like Vietnam, Malaysia, the Philippines, Brunei, and Taiwan. China's historical assertions regarding the South China Sea date back many years, but they became more defined in the early 1900s when China began to assert its control over the sea. The turning point came in 1947 when China introduced a map that displayed its famous 9-dash line, essentially marking out a significant portion of the South China Sea. In recent decades, China has taken a more assertive stance concerning its claims in the South China Sea. Notably, China has constructed artificial islands in disputed areas and stationed military forces on these newly created landmasses. Additionally, China has been involved in confrontations with fishing vessels from other nations that operate within the South China Sea. The contemporary issues in the South China Sea can be categorized into several key areas. Vietnam, for example, has been involved in armed conflicts with China over the South China Sea, including the Sino-Vietnamese War in 1979. Vietnam claims sovereignty over the Paracel Islands and parts of the Spratly Islands. Similarly, Malaysia asserts ownership of specific areas within the Spratly Islands. The Philippines also claims certain sections of the Spratly Islands, and in 2016, an international tribunal ruled that China's claims in the South China Sea were not in line with international law. However, China has not recognized this ruling. Furthermore, India maintains sovereignty claims over the Arunachal Pradesh region, which has been a point of contention with China. Lastly, Taiwan maintains its belief that it has sovereignty over the entire South China Sea, a stance similar to that of China. So, as the disagreement continued, with major Asian nations criticizing China for its aggressive actions in their areas, China introduced a new map that supported its goals. In this updated map, China claimed ownership of several regions, including the Indian state of Arunachal Pradesh, which China has long said belongs to southern Tibet, and Aksai Chin, a dry northern area of Ladakh occupied by China since the end of the 1962 Sino-Indian War. The map also featured a 10-dash line around the South China Sea, formerly a 9-dash line, and all of Taiwan, the 10th dash, which also includes some small islands and islets that countries like Vietnam, the Philippines, Brunei, Malaysia, and Indonesia dispute. However, the response to this move was firm. The Philippines, Malaysia, Vietnam, India, and Taiwan all rejected the map through strong statements. The Philippine Foreign Ministry pointed out that China's attempt to claim sovereignty and control over Philippine territories and waters had no basis in international law. They called on China to act responsibly and follow international law, including a 2016 decision by an international court in The Hague that invalidated China's claims in the South China Sea. China had not accepted this decision and did not participate in the court's proceedings. India's foreign ministry expressed concern that the map would only make their ongoing border dispute more complicated. However, China remained steadfast in its position. The Chinese Foreign Ministry stated that Beijing's stance on the South China Sea remained consistent and clear. So, what might be the global impact of this, and what are China's intentions? Donald Rothwell, a law professor at the Australian National University in Canberra, who specializes in sea laws, suggests that China's new map could make conflicts in the area worse. He says that even though other countries may not like it, Now that the Chinese government has said yes to the map and shared it, the Chinese Navy and Coast Guard will probably try to show that China has control over the areas the map claims. This seems quite possible because China has been acting tough lately. Not too long ago, it pushed around ships from the Philippines in the South China Sea. This could affect India the most. India has been doing well, especially in tech, with things like its moon landing. China might not like this and wants to push India to join its side, maybe to weaken India. This could be because on the west side of India is Pakistan, which is China's friend. China might want India to feel worried about fighting on two fronts. By releasing this new map, it looks like China is trying to pressure India to get ready for a fight. The same thing is happening with the United States and Taiwan. The Biden administration recently gave Taiwan about $80 million in help from a special fund. China sees this as a problem. China knows it can't just take away Taiwan's freedom and control, so it might be thinking about invading it. The new map is a way for China to remind everyone about this possibility. To sum up, this situation is worrisome. The big Asian countries need to come together and work as a team because standing up to China's actions is really important for keeping the seas open, protecting democracy, and making sure the whole world stays free. The United States and Western countries also need to be part of this effort. India will have to take the lead and respond strongly, but it won't be easy because China seems ready for some kind of action. If you like the video, do subscribe to the channel for more updates. We will catch you in the next one.